The road to Columbus, Ohio continues in Starkville. That's where the Final Four will be this year. Mississippi State in sole possession of first place in the SEC in women's hoops, and the journey towards the title in the conference and the country continued on Sunday at home. To the hump for Sunday hoops. 9,000 fans in attendance for Superhero Day as the Bulldogs hosted Alabama. That's why you saw Spider-Man, Batman right there running out with the Bulldogs. First quarter, MSU struggled out of the gate, but it was Rose Johnson doing her best to keep MSU in front. Back-to-back triples would keep the Bulldogs in the lead. But the story of the first quarter was Hannah Cook of Alabama. By the way, Jack, he's the best boy. Looking great in that Captain America costume. Hannah Cook, the senior guard from the Crimson Tide, had a career-high 25 points. She was 5 for 5 from three. In this first quarter, she hit 2 threes that put Bama in front. And then before the end of the quarter, off the miss here by Jordan Lewis, Quanitra Bolton would have the putback before the buzzer. Bama led 20-16 after the first quarter. That's the first deficit MSU has faced after the opening quarter all year. It would spurn Victoria Vivian's on. She drives to the hoop for the basket and the foul. More from the Queen after that. Coming in quasi-transition here. Morgan William, Torrey, give me all three of these. MSU leads 44-29 at the half. Third quarter, even when Vivian's missed, Tierra McCowan was going to be there to clean it all up. She had her 14th double-double of the year, 19 points, 16 rebounds. MSU led by 20. More from Vivian's, one of her 7 rebounds. She's going to find Rose Johnson, who has nothing but nylon on this three-pointer. Johnson and Vivian's combined for 35 points in the game. And just for good measure, watch this move by Morgan William off the bounce. The shake and bake. Oh, now you see me, now you don't. MSU goes to 19-0 overall. The Bulldogs win 75-61. After the game, Vic Schaefer explained what he has to tell his team when his fans show up.
I will tell our players, hey, these people are paying to see a product. Let's make sure we give them a good product. That's my challenge as the head coach and being in charge of the program. And that's probably where I fight with these kids more than anything, Danny, is that I feel obligated to those 9,000 a night to give them the best show on earth. And when when we're not, and I feel like it's because we're not maybe giving as much effort as I think we got, that's when I get a little sideways with them.
Now, during the end of the game, junior forward Ashley Williams of Alabama was involved in a collision at half court that called for a stretcher and immediate attention. According to head coach Christy Curry of Alabama, it was precautionary that they brought out the stretcher and took her off on the stretcher. Williams was moving her extremities and was conscious. She did give a thumbs up to fans and the team after she was taken to a local hospital. She is expected to be okay and make a full recovery, which is great news. You can see before she is stretchered off, she does give the thumbs up right there, which is great to see. All right, other SEC scores in women's hoops from Sunday. Tennessee and South Carolina played a thriller. South Carolina didn't have Asia Wilson in the game, so the Volunteers taking advantage of that as they win 86-70. Georgia won an OT at A&M, 92-84. Aggies only had 7 players they played in the game. They had all sorts of injuries and other issues. LSU won against Florida, and Arkansas defeated Auburn. So your SEC women's basketball standings look like this. MSU in sole possession, as we mentioned, in first place of the conference at 5-0. Tennessee and Georgia's been a bit of a surprise. The Bulldogs are at 4-1. Missouri's at 3-1. South Carolina, A&M, Bama, LSU all at 3-2 with Arkansas at 2-3. Ole Miss at 1-3 with Kentucky, Auburn, Vandy, Florida rounding out the Southeastern Conference. So with women's basketball this week, we have some pretty big games. Missouri is coming to the Pavilion on Thursday at 8 p.m. The Rebels then will go to Gainesville to take on Florida on Sunday. The big one, though, is going to be Mississippi State in Knoxville taking on Tennessee. That'll be on Sunday at 2 p.m. Bulldogs do not have a midweek game. Tennessee does. Tennessee is going to go to South Bend, Indiana to play Notre Dame on a Thursday. So the Bulldogs will sort of catch Tennessee at a good time because the Volunteers have now played A&M, they've played South Carolina, they've played Notre Dame, and then they'll run into MSU. So you'll sort of get them on possibly a good time as they're running